Hey guys, it's me, it's Ivy, and I'm here with your recap of actually last night's episode. I'm recording this on a Tuesday. I know I'm a day late, but last night, it was hectic last night. Like, after the show aired, the actual show aired, then Untucked aired, and then we got a 10-minute preview of the next premiere, the next episode of Drag Race. I was completely exhausted, and then I was talking to friends and actually my boyfriend, so then I was completely exhausted and I fell asleep. So I'm so sorry. I've been putting this off for way too long, so I'm going to give it to you guys now. But I'm really, really excited for this season. I hope you guys know that. And I hope a lot of you guys that are actually fans of the show were excited for the season premiere. I was definitely excited going in. I wanted all of my favorite queens. Some of my favorite queens actually walked in first and were in the first episode. And a lot of my lesser favorites are in the next episode. But still, I was actually a little bit disappointed with this episode. But anyway, moving on. So we start out the season, and every opening episode since about season 2 or 3, they've started out with like the theme for what the music video was going to be. Like last season they did the courtroom scene, and a lot of what the music video was for the beginning was in a courtroom. So this season they did a movie trailer for the opening, and it was really cool. It was actually really cute. So after all of that, we get the series preview of like what's going to happen with the queens and the upcoming episodes. So then we get into the workroom and how the queens walk in, and they're walking in. And it's the first time they enter the workroom, and it's like they're trying to find their places and everything. So the first queen to enter is Adore Delano, and she reveals she's 23 and all of this stuff. She's one of the younger queens. She comes in this really nice red dress and a like fur throw over top, and this teal blue hair, and I'm like, girl, you look awesome in some teal hair. So the next queen to come in is the hyperactive, could keel over any second for being so nice, Ben de la Creme. Ben de la Creme is 31 years old, and she is super hyper. She's happy all of the time, and I love this queen to death. The next queen to enter is Gia Gunn. Gia, when she walked in, she was wearing a swimsuit like Jinx Monsoon did last season, but she was a lot bitchier about it. Oh my gosh, I hate this queen so much. She is just overall bitch. Okay, so the next queen to enter is Laganja Estranja. Not even 10 minutes into the opening episode, a queen has death dropped onto the floor, and we are in progress here, people. So Laganja comes in. She's 24, and you can tell she is a hyperactive queen with a very big personality. And Adore reveals in confessionals that she and Laganja compete in competitions before, and when they do compete, it gets very competitive between them. So it's kind of weird, to say the least. We don't know how that's going to end up. Hopefully for the both of them it turns out well. Don't be shady, queens. Be ladies. Okay, so the next girl to enter is April Galeon. And April comes in this like Boy Scout outfit with like the parachute on her back, like she just dropped in from Puerto Rico. So, April came in, and Gia is like reading the queens as they come in now. So it's like, she's a bit butch. Honestly, who cares? That's April's style. I loved her entrance look, and I love her look in the Meet the Queens video. Either way, she is an amazing queen, and she's very fishy too. Okay, so the next queen to enter is Kelly Mantle. Kelly Mantle is 37. She's one of the older queens this season, but she's a professional queen. She's been in the business for a long time. She reveals later on in the episode that she's been doing drag for almost 17 years, and she is a professional. She does acting, singing, dancing, and she's like the whole package. Really, she is. And honestly, I think she should win I thought she should have won this season. But we'll get to that later. The next queen to enter is Vivacious. Now, Vivacious, can we talk about the outfit she came in with this season? She walked through and it was like this huge thing over a bodysuit covering her face. And it's like drama. And there was an alien head on top of it. And it's like she was pulling down the zipper and the zipper was stuck. So she had to like pull it down. And there was like an alien head on top of her. So it was weird. Vivacious is the oldest queen this season at, I think she's the oldest queen. I think she's one of the older queens. She's one of the older queens. She is one of the oldest, if not the oldest, at 40 years old. And after those 7 queens enter, they already have shemale. They're like, what the F is going on? So what had happened was they go over to the shemale monitor, as I call it. I don't really know what we call it. But they go over and they check their shemale. And it's Rue revealing part of the challenge, like a TV type challenge. Then Rue comes in and reveals that there will be 2 opening episodes, 2 premiere episodes, and that this is the first premiere episode, and that next week we will get our second premiere episode. Okay, so the first 7 queens that arrive are going to be competing in their first photo shoot / mini challenge. And every season they have this like really huge photo shoot, and they have a theme to the photo shoot. They have something really big. Like the first season they had the car and they were getting washed and lathered. Second season it was like a Gone with the Wind theme with the big wind machine. Third season it was like the Christmas card with a trampoline. Season 4 it was like a Rupaul and apocalyptic theme with the spinning little turntable that they used to stand on. Season 5 was of course the big pool. And then now season 6 they had to jump off of a raised platform, pose in midair, and then fall into a foam pit, which for some queens is kind of funny, and I know for me it was definitely hilarious. So some of the good queens that actually did the jump were Ben de la Creme and Laganja Estranja and April Carrion. April's form was really nice. She gave great face. Laganja, of course, she has a dancer's body. She's a dancer, so she did a really good pose, and she gave great face, great legs. And Ben, her pose was very elegant, and her face in her second shot was beautiful, darling. The bad people were Adore. She didn't give great body as she was jumping off of the platform, but she gave great face. Kelly, even Mike Ruiz and Rupaul said that she looked like Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz inside the tornado. And then Vivacious, who she revealed before she jumped off that the alien head was named Ornisha. And she jumped off. It wasn't that pretty. But her second shot was actually kind of good. And then Gia. Girl, you weren't giving me anything. The winner of the mini challenge ended up being Laganja, which I think was... I'm kind of controversial on that because I think it should have either gone to Laganja or Ben de la Creme, but either way, it was good. So, as the winner of the mini challenge, Laganja was able to assign the roles for the main challenge. And Rue reveals that the main challenge is going to be, you're going to take things that were inside boxes that she brought. And you are going to take those materials and you're going to take them and translate a fashion based on a TV show into high fashion couture gowns or dresses or whatever you want to call them, into high fashion couture runway looks, I guess. So you were supposed to take the materials based on the television show that you were given and turn them into a couture look. So Laganja got to assign who got which box in which TV show, and that pretty much decided what materials you were going to get. So for herself, Laganja assigns Dancing with the Stars. I think you can guess why. Then for Gia Gunn, she assigns Keeping Up with the Kardashians. For April, she assigns Duck Dynasty based on her entrance look. She thought apparently that she could pull it off. Kelly Mantle got Downtown Abbey. Vivacious got Game of Thrones. Adore got Here Comes Honey Boo Boo. And Ben Delacreme got Golden Girls. So, as they're making their outfits, we learned that some of the younger queens don't know how to sew, like Adore. So she is literally like gluing her whole entire outfit. And when Rue's walkthrough happens, she is skeptical about a lot of the queens' looks. Like, she goes through with Vivacious, and Vivacious is giving her all of this stuff about how she watched this one episode with the Game of Thrones, and then she was going to do this fashion couture with like a gown and then have a baby dragon on her shoulder. And I'm just like, girl, what? Then when they walk through with Kelly, she shows Rue like the flowers that were in the box as part of her materials. So she is going to wrap them around. And it seemed like a nice idea. I honestly thought it would be a great idea to do that. You know, it was a very creative idea. And then with the other walkthrough, Gia, oh my gosh, Gia is the other one I want to talk about. Gia was giving Rue so much crap. She didn't even know what the she was doing, honestly. I don't even think so. So, Gia, you might want to be careful there, darling. So, after Rue's walkthrough through the workroom, she announces who the guest judges are going to be, which, of course, are Mike Ruiz, who takes the photo shoots every year, every season for Drag Race, and then American Idol star Adam Lambert. Can I get an amen? This man is hot. If he was straight, I would want him. And I still want him even though he's gay. Okay, so anyway, after the commercial break and everything, they're getting ready for the runway. And so when it's almost time for them to get on the runway, when everyone's getting dressed, everyone's painting their faces, getting their wigs on, Adore's dress is like stuck to her mannequin. Like, she literally almost glued it to the mannequin. That's how badly she glued it. She was literally like ripping it off of the mannequin, but it was pretty much stuck. She finally got it off and got something on her body to wear out on the runway, which I'm thankful for. But honestly, I feel bad for Adore because, you know, that's how things work. You never expect, it's time to expect the unexpected, really. Okay, so everyone comes out on the runway. The first person to come out ever for the season, for season 6, is Gia Gunn. Gia's look was really simple. It didn't really give me wow. It was just too simple for me. It looked Kardashian, it really did. I honestly got Keeping Up with the Kardashians from it, but it was really too simple for me. It was like a really short dress and really short sleeve, but it was still a nice look put together with her face and her hair, but really it was too simple for me. Then we have April Carrion, who did Duck Dynasty. Now, April was planning during Rue's walkthrough to do a pant, which is a horrible idea unless you have someone who tailors pants for a living. Honestly, I wouldn't recommend doing your own pant. April listened to Rue's advice and she did like a dress. And honestly, I got Duck Dynasty from it because it was like plaid and everything, and I understood it completely. The only thing I didn't like about April's look was that she used her own hair, her own buzz cut hair, as part of her runway look. And I'm like, girl, no. You don't do that. If a drag queen is going to use her own hair, be bald. Like, be a bald queen and then put your wig on over your head. Don't ever show me like a buzz cut hair. That is a no-no on every sense and level. Okay, so next we have Laganja Estranja. Laganja's look was, I got Dancing with the Stars from it a little bit. She got like this really big collar around her neck, but and she had this like little bodice thing going on, but the skirt that she wrapped around it was way too long for her. She was tripping over it. She was very high energy in her walk, but she almost tripped on that gown so many times I was scared that that her ass was gonna hit the runway. But in the end, it still looked nice. I think without the collar and if the skirt fit her length, it could have been a nice look because she had this big blown out hair. But it was still a nice look overall. I don't think she could have been in the bottom for it. It was still a nice look. Okay, the next girl is Kelly Mantle. Kelly, oh my gosh. Kelly's dress, the skirt was horrible. It was like a horrible fabric for a dress skirt overall. And then the flowers that I was talking about earlier that she was going to use as her bodice, they looked like bacon. Honestly, it did. It looked like bacon. Like even Michelle Visage said during the critiques, it looks like bacon. So, never wear bacon on the runway at RuPaul's Drag Race. That's the only place where bacon is bad. Okay, so then we have Adore Delano, and Adore looked a mess, honey. She had this big pink hair and this blue dress that was gosh awful. It was torn to shreds. It was, honestly, it looked bad. Did it look worse than some of the other queens? No. Honestly, I think that was a good effort for someone who can't sew and was really trying their best. Next we have Vivacious. Vivacious did the New York walk. It's stomp, 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 pose, stomp, vogue. Oh my gosh, I lived for her walk. But her runway look bombed horribly. Like her hair and then her dress, the hemline of her dress. I have to read the hemline of her dress. It was horrible. It did not... The only thing that read Game of Thrones was the crow that was attached to like a wristband. And even that wasn't really Game of Thrones. I'm sorry, but all tea, all shade. Finally, we have Ben de la Creme, who did Golden Girls. Ben's look. Ben did not sew the look at all. It was all hot glue and desperation, in her words. And it looked freaking fierce. Like, it hugged her body so tight, the way she patted it, and the way that she had it fit against her body so snug. It worked really, really well. And she looks a lot like Michelle Visage. She looks like she could be her daughter, really. But seriously, she looked amazing. Okay, so after all the critiques and everything, we find out Ben de la Creme is the winner of the main challenge, which I think it was the completely right decision. I would have been pissed off if it was anyone else. Then Rue reveals that this season, no queen is getting immunity. No immunity will be rewarded at all this season. And I honestly forgot that immunity was given during the past seasons, because the only time I ever really remembered that it was immunity was when Alyssa Edwards did the Snatch Game last season, and her Katy Perry was hella horrible. And then it's revealed that the bottom three are Adore, Kelly, and Vivacious. But the bottom two are going to be lip syncing for their life. And the bottom two are revealed to be Kelly Mantle and Vivacious. So they both had to lip sync for their life. And they had to lip sync Madonna's Express Yourself. I am a Madonna girl. Oh gosh. Kelly was really subtle with it. I don't think it was the right energy to have during this particular Madonna song. Vivacious killed it. She was high energy and giving Vogue and giving Madonna-esque, giving New York. But Kelly, she was still doing the best she could with her dress, and she did the lip sync really well. They both did a really awesome lip sync. It was a tough call for lip sync. But we find out that the queen who got sent home was Kelly Mantle. Oh gosh, a lot of people were really surprised by Kelly's elimination. Everyone thought Kelly was going to be one of those queens that would go through to the end and possibly make it to the top 6, maybe even to the top 3 and be a finalist this season, but everyone was surprised by her elimination. She was eliminated very early in the game, and everyone was really shocked by her elimination. I was talking to some friends about her elimination, and they're like, really? She was the first one to go home? And I'm like, yeah. And it's like, but she has so many talents. And I'm like, well, you know how they set it up this season. Now they have a close